Hello everybody. Today I have another review video. I'm continuing my Combaticons video. I apologize for the little wait. My brother wanted to do a review and then afterwards I decided to take a small break. But anyways, so if you remember from last time, I reviewed my Combaticons. If you didn't see that video, we have Vortex, Blastoff, Brawl, Swindle, and Onslaught, and they form a team of Decepticons known as Combaticons. Anyways, so this video, I'll kind of I'll kind of summarize the previous video, and then I'll get into combining. But first, I would like to start off with the legs. Alright, so for the legs, what we're going to want to do is take Swindle and Vortex. Now, they're a lot like my Stunticons over there. Their transformations are basically the same for the legs, but I'm going to do Swindle because he's the easier one. Vortex is basically the same. This guy is just easier. So first, what we're going to want to do is fold these two bits up like this, and then we're going to want to slide them over, just like that. Next, what we're going to want to do is fold this bit all the way back, and then fold this down. This is basically going to become the foot, just like that. And then we're going to want to straighten out the leg like that. And then these arms, get them out of the way. Come back here, fold this up, around, down, and then it collapses just like so. Then the arms get folded back, just like so. Here's the leg. Now, one thing you'll notice, so this leg design, this is the best leg design I could think of. And it's a very wobbly, very flimsy, doesn't hold together very well. It's mainly due to this bit down here. I'm not sure if this is a legal connection, but the ankle is supported by this thin tan socket joint right here, which is supposed to be decorative and not structural. So yeah, the entire thing, the entire combiner is going to be supported on this one little piece right here. And as I said, this is not a structural piece, this is a decorative piece. So if you plan to replicate any of the figures I make in my videos, I highly suggest you try and find a different connection. This is just the best one I could find. Alright, so Vortex is basically the same transformation. So I'm just gonna speed through it real quick. But before you do so, just remember that this goes on there. Alright, so when it comes to the legs, they get folded up neatly like this. Like so. And then this arm gets folded back behind it. And this arm gets folded back like this. Basically locking the leg together. And there we have leg mode for Vortex. Alright, so the third one we have is Blastoff. He's a pretty simple transformation. So first what we're going to want to do is come to his back, collapse it down onto his massive rump. And so now we have a bit more of a box shape. Then we take his weird neck chest piece, fold it around like this, and then collapse it down and it'll line up neatly. Now his head, it could be folded around like this or that. It doesn't really matter. This is going to become the back. Doesn't matter. Now, unfortunately, due to the way I made these guys, these these will have to be removed. If I find somewhere else to put them, I'll put them there. So next what we're gonna want to do, fold these legs back. They go all the way up, or just back like that. So then these get folded along the back as well. Then come to the front. There we have a lower torso. If you notice, the shape of his rump makes a little more sense. It actually forms like the crotch area of the figure. I apologize. Alright, next up we have Brawl. Now I do have a bit to talk about this guy. So first off, I did finish him last video. If you remember, he wasn't finished. I just basically, these down here, these are going to be the hands. It wasn't finished last time. Yeah, I also fixed his waist area. If you remember, his legs are really splayed out and weird looking. So originally I had him connect a certain way, but I changed it. So I was actually capable of switching it back the way it is here. So yeah, coming into transformation, first what we gonna want to do is twist his head around like this. Make sure it's just like that. Then we're gonna want to prime apart. This is a bit graphic, but it just has to be this way. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this transformation because I would have rather one robot for one arm, the other robot for the other arm, but I didn't. As you'll see later, the combiner gets really heavy really quick since I'm building with solid bricks and not bionicle pieces. So yeah, it gets really, a matter of fact, these arms alone feel pretty heavy. So what we're going to want to do, come to one arm, fold this down like that. I can part. Then the hand comes down. Splay out the massive, scary fingers. And the thumb. Thumb's a bit awkward. Yeah, but there's the hand. And then up here, you can either have a second arm or you could have it like folded away. Like this. I'll just have a second set of arms. I'll just slide this down so it allows for more movement. So there's one arm. The other one's basically the same. Slide this down, fold this up, fold the arm around. Now if you notice, I don't have any bullets in this gun. That's because I'm not a big fan of shooting or stuff like in Lego sets when they have all the bullets and stuff. I'm not too big of a fan because I don't want to lose all the pieces. So I left the bullets out. You can imagine that they're probably inside and they shoot out. Yeah, but we basically set up the same way. Also, remember to fold these around like that. Same on this side, fold it around like that. And there we have the arms. Alright, so last and not least, we have Onslaught. So with Onslaught, I also have a bit to talk about him. If you notice down here, I built his little claw arm, because this is actually, show a picture of him. He's actually supposed to have this little claw arm, but I forgot to add it last time. And here, I remembered to add it back. It pops off easily. I didn't really have anywhere to put this on the combine mode because I literally just built this a few seconds ago. But yeah, just I kind of forgot last time and I didn't want him not to have it. So into combine mode, first what we're going to want to do is fold, so come to these weird backpack tread things, fold them up like that. Then his arms, straighten them out, fold them up and out of the way for now. Then we're going to fold his waist around like that, kind of bulking it out a bit on the front. So then put his head up for clearance, pull this down, fold his head down, and then fold this up on top of it. now basically hiding his head. Now we come up to here, pull this out, then rotate this around, revealing his beautiful, beautiful combined mode head. Now, for the final few touches, we're going to come back here. I need to move his legs. Rotate these around and up like this, and fold these down as far as they go. Same thing on the other side. Around, up, down as far as it could go. Fix the bricks if they start splitting apart. And there we have the top half of Bruticus. So now into combining them. First we're going to want the legs. Now, also with this leg, as I said, it's using a decorative piece for the bottom, or for the ankle, so please, and for the record, this thing gets extremely top heavy and flimsy, so you may need to bear with me. There might be a lot of combining off camera, but I will explain how it's done if I do it off camera. But yeah. So after you get the legs in place, like so, we're going to want to take Vortex back here. Now if you look, there are two ball joints right here. Those are going to go right in like that. Right in like that. Make sure its feet are nice and flat on the ground. Make sure to straighten them out like so. Now already, this thing is already kind of a bit wobbly and top heavy. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so next up, what we're going to want to do, take Onslaught over here. Gonna plop them. So there's a 2x4 bait, little 2x4 plate here. We're gonna click it down into here. This was the best way I could see to combine them without using an excessive amount of combined joints that I didn't have. Oh great, he's already getting top heavy on us. Okay, there. Now, unlike Menasor, where he can stand on his own pretty easily, this guy, like, you literally have two itty-bitty little, small little gaps of being able to stand. Like, ever so slightly too far backwards, he kaplops. Ever so slightly too far forward, kaplop. It is a nightmare trying to deal with this guy. Menasor, he's a good boy. He stays. This guy, on the other hand, is... Alright, now for the arms. We're going to want to take this half of Brawl. Click it right down. Oh boy. Let me just take a minute to fix his legs. His legs really do not like staying up. Let me try straightening his knees in there. Because if you notice, he's got this massive backpack. Oh jeez, I never realized how much that was. And also, he's got these spindly little legs. Now, as I said earlier, I wanted this guy to be a bit smaller of a combiner. Personally, he's still a bit too big for me. I would have wanted him smaller. As you could tell by the leg design, it was really only designed for a smaller combiner. Oh boy. You really don't want to work with me today. Okay, so now when you have a good firm grasp of him, take the other arm, collapse it on down. And that's it. Unlike Menasor, where he had an excessive amount of accessories, Bruticus only has this one. And there's not really anywhere I could put this. I guess I could put it like here. Okay. This thing has to be the most temperamental thing I've ever built. But there we go. And here he is in all his glory. Yeah, he's pretty tall. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the mix match colors. As you can see with Menasor, He's a lot more muted colors, like basically the entire way up, he's black, then the shoulders are gray. He's mostly uniform and neat. But as you can see, Menosaur here, he's got random colors of green, random orange, and then down to the legs are uneven. Now, I'm pretty proud of the design. If I had the pieces, I would have made the colors a lot cleaner, because although the color is clean here, mostly clean, and then it starts getting messy. I started running out of parts when building these guys, but yeah. So the glaring issue with this big boy is that he is so if you notice down here, the legs, they're an okay design. As a matter of fact, looking at them alone, they look like good combiner legs. But then you pull out and realize the massive hunk of plastic that these poor things have to hold up. Now remember, these are thin little hunks of plastic right here that can't really hold much at all. They're decorative. But, I mean, the legs alone, sometimes they struggle to hold themselves up. But then when you add the waist, it gets heavy. Plus all that extra kibble. The lower torso, it gets heavy. Plus all the extra kibble. And then the massive biceps. Oh my goodness. I tried to slim this guy down. Which is why some of these guys are so small and simple. I tried to slim it down as much as possible. I may go back and redesign the legs to be a lot nicer. Yeah. Also with Menosaur over here, you might have noticed or not, but as you can see down here, that's what drag strip looks like in his new mode. Looks pretty cool. Then up here, one of the biggest changes I did is that I figured out how to adjust the combiner ports right here to pull the shoulders more up and into the chest. So and I also moved the neck up a bit, giving him a much taller, because I didn't want him to be a slouching monster like I made him originally. I wanted him to be taller and a bit more sophisticated. But yeah, I pulled the shoulders up and in, which actually kind of helped with the weight problem, because originally the arms would constantly want to fall over because of the amount of weight. But when I fixed it up like this, it actually fixed it completely. Now, Menosaur, well, he looks absolutely... Now, if you notice, Menosaur is basically entirely bionicle. I basically used all of the bionicle pieces I have on this guy. If you notice, this guy starts off as bionicle. As you move up, the bionicle kind of just disappears. Now, besides the joints, there's basically no bionicle on this top half. Down here, it's all bionicle. Now, I'm really proud of this thing. It is a really good design, especially on paper. The legs, on the other hand, they could be designed much better. I'm hoping to maybe make this thing, maybe try and scale this all down a bit, maybe make it a lot smaller. I want to get a lot more bionicle pieces and try and rebuild all this but in bionicle. Because this guy kind of stands out from this guy. They look completely different. But anyways, coming in for a bit of a closer look. So up here's his head. I tried to make it G1 accurate with the two head spires, then the big horn. I kind of shaped it like a rhino horn, give him almost a rhino face. The face plate, yeah. And I kind of tried to give him a visor. It kind of looks like that. Down here there's the chest. Chest is pretty well built. I like the way I got it. His arms. The biceps are a bit too big personally, but they kind of had to be like this. Yeah, the hand. It looks really cool. Kind of fit. It really brings. I feel like the hand kind of brings it together a lot more. And then his gun arm. It's a lot more simple than his other arm. Down to the waist. He's got like this cloak I have it splayed out, but you can droop it down, but I don't really want to move it down to the legs. I've already talked about them a lot. Now, with Menasor, when I first built him, he had really tiny feet, because these were supposed to be heads of other robots. And I tried to avoid making them massive, so I gave them decently sized heads, and they made really tiny feet. Now, drag strip, I bulked it out a bit more. With Wild Rider, as you can see, I put this thing here. But with this guy, if you notice, I gave him proper combiner feet. They're nice and massive. They're wide and flat. Like they can hold this way without toppling over. That can't be the same. Can't be said for the ankles, though. Oh yeah, by the way, just full size comparison shows how big this guy is. Here's Earthrise Optimus. Yeah, about twice the size, more than twice the size of Earthrise. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did. For my next video, I plan to review this guy. I've actually teased this guy in a lot of my videos. His name is Junkie. This will be next review. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and until that guy, bye bye.